Hi, I'm Yumna from Feel Good Foodie. Soup season is one of my favorite seasons, so today I'm going to teach you how to make one of my favorites. It's Mediterranean white bean soup. This soup is filled with lots of vegetables and plant-based protein. It's also gluten-free and there's no fancy ingredients and no complicated steps. Also, I like to use canned white beans, so it makes it even faster and easier. This is one hearty vegan soup that you're absolutely going to love, and it has 15 grams of protein per serving, thanks to those powerhouse white beans. So let's get started. We've got canned white beans that have been rinsed and drained, 1 large onion chopped, about 2 carrots chopped, about 2 celery chopped, some spinach, vegetable broth, and some spices here like oregano, thyme, some garlic, salt and pepper, and olive oil just to get things started. We're gonna start by heating up some olive oil in a deep pot. We'll go ahead and add some onions. And we want to sweat the onions for about 5 minutes before we add anything else. When the onion starts to become translucent, that's when you know it's time to add the rest of the aromatics. So we're going to go ahead and add garlic, carrots, celery, and some spices. We've got oregano and thyme. And I always recommend adding salt and pepper in layers. So every time you add more ingredients, add salt and pepper. So we're gonna go ahead and season this with some salt and pepper. Now I'm going to mix everything together for just a couple minutes until all the vegetables become softer. When you notice that the vegetables are starting to get a nice color on them, you can see right here, they're becoming golden and they're getting softer. That's your cue to add in the beans and add the broth. So I'm just using canned beans. I rinsed these and drained them and just gonna toss them right in there. You can also use dried beans. Just make sure to soak them a day in advance. And we're gonna add 6 cups of vegetable broth to this. And as I mentioned, season as you go. But if you're not using low sodium broth, then make sure to just watch the salt so you're not adding too much. Now we want to bring this to a boil, and then once it's at a boil, we just want to simmer it for 15 minutes and the soup is pretty much done. One tip I'll have for you though is that while it's simmering, you might want to use your spoon and just break up the beans a little bit because they're starchy. They're really going to thicken the soup naturally without having to add flour or cornstarch or anything like that. Once the soup starts boiling, that's your cue to cover it, lower the temperature, and simmer for 15 minutes. So the soup simmered for 15 minutes. And now we're ready to add in some spinach. And the spinach will just go in for a couple minutes at the end, just until it lightly wilts. And you can see the soup is already thickened just from simmering for 15 minutes because those beans broke down a little bit and they gave the soup a nice starchy base. And now we're ready to serve the soup. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ladle it onto some bowls. Now when you're ready to serve it, just add some fresh parsley to finish off that Mediterranean flavor. And although the soup is vegan, I do like to serve it with some grated parmesan. Obviously you can leave that behind if you want to definitely keep it vegan. And the recipe is done. So this is one of my favorite soups to have all winter long. It's got a nice Mediterranean flavor to it. It's loaded with vegetables, got tons of protein in there. And it's one of those meals that you can have as an appetizer or actually as a full meal to keep you full throughout the day. Super flavorful, nice and light, very delicious, and such a comforting soup all around. All right, time for Video Matt to try the recipe. Awesome, I got a thumbs up from Video Matt. So he likes the recipe and I hope you guys do as well. Thank you for watching. Check out the description below to see the full recipe and instructions. And if you like this video, please go ahead and follow, like, and subscribe to see more healthy-ish videos with feel-good ingredients from my channel. See you next time.